Hello, this is Commander Hugh Jordan here. Welcome to part two of my mining guide, how to make the most money from mining by mining platinum in the hazardous resource extraction site for, well, for anybody, but really aimed at beginners. In this part, I'm going to be covering a lot about loadouts and why I do them the way that I do, and why you get how you get the benefit from it. Um, then I'll show you briefly how to use the Python. There's just some small differences between the Python T6 that I used in my part one. But if you didn't watch part one, you need to, because everything about the techniques are covered in there. So this one's only the differences for the Python. But I'll also at the end of this explain a little bit about how to get the best price from the market, which is obviously another important factor. So let's get on. So first of all, I did make a video, I think it was the one before last, as a comparison for some small ships about earnings rates, but what came out of that was some very important point which I want to explain. So if you look at this, your total mining time, the time that you're active and trying to earn money, uh, you start off from a station, you travel to the mining field, you then do the mining and fill up, and then you travel to the market to sell it. You need to do all those three things as a complete activity. Um, so there's two ways you can do it. You can sell to a fleet carrier. So you can either have your own fleet carrier if you've got one, or there are a lot of fleet carriers parked nearby, and they'll offer quite a good price, typically 250 k per ton. Might be a bit less. It just depends on whoever it is. And what they do is they fill up, or they'll offer to buy your platinum at that. So they fill up with their 20,000 tons or whatever it is. And then what they'll do, they'll park their fleet carrier near where the market is and sell it for, say, 260 a ton. And it doesn't sound much of a profit, but on 20,000 tons, it comes to billions. So just for like 10 minutes work, just moving their carrier once a week, they can make billions from it. So there are some of those about. So it's sort of worth finding a mining spot where they are. But anyway, with that, if you look at this is now on a Python. Um, it takes approximately 5.5 minutes from when you leave the fleet carrier to when you can start mining. And then it takes on average 11.5 minutes to fill up an engineered Python, not optimized one. And then another 4.5 minutes to go back to the fleet carrier. And so you repeat. And if you do the sums, Python carries 198 tons. So that works out 552 tons an hour or 138 million an hour you'd get by selling to a fleet carrier at 250 tons. That's a fairly relaxed rate. You don't have to race to get you up. You do need to be like fairly efficient. The alternative is to sell to a market. And typically a market's going to be in this sort of distance. So I'm going to talk about that later in the video, how to find a market like that. You'd be lucky to find much less than 50. And yeah, you should be able to get one less than 100. Um, so coming down to the Python, well, what that does, you've now got 5 minutes jumping time each way as well, and a possible refuel. Because if you're traveling 100 light years, that's 200 light years round trip, and the fuel to actually do for the time you're actually mining. So you would need a range of about 220 light years to have enough fuel to do that in a round trip, so that you only fill up with fuel at the station. So if you can't fill up with a fuel at the station, you're going to need to either scoop along the way or stop at a station and another station and refuel. So each time you stop at a station, you're adding nearly 5 minutes to your trip. So that's a massive inefficiency to, when you look at the overall time, it's about 30 minutes. So out of all the time you're mining for about, or all the time you're doing the activity, you're only mining for about a third of the time. So if you could cut down your traveling time by 10%, you'll get double the effect from it than you would if you speeded up your mining by 10%. So always bear that in mind. So your goal, especially if you're selling to the markets, and even here, even selling to the fleet carrier, half your time is spent traveling. So if you can do anything to cut that down, not that there's a lot you can do other than find a fleet carrier that's just that little bit nearer or something like that. So you're pretty well stuck with that. So in that case, you're really concentrating on cutting down or improving your mining speed. But when you're selling to the market, cutting down your traveling time is going to be more, you're going to get more bang for buck from it. So that's the first point. So let's now look at some loadouts. So this is the basic mining Python, and for that you need 100 million. Let's get it here. I think this overstates the price a little bit, but it's around about 100 million you need. And I'm working on a basis that you haven't got a fleet carrier and you need to have the option of selling to the market. So that's what I've included. Now, bearing in mind what I show you in the other layouts, you can change this one to optimize it more for selling to a fleet carrier if you find that there is one nearby. And the other thing, in the system where I'm going to do it now, the stations do sometimes give a reasonable price for the platinum, and it's more efficient to sell there when they offer, a reasonable price than it is to go and sell it anywhere else in the market because of the travelling time. So there's a few options there. So if travelling isn't important, you don't need to cut down your jump range. So you can afford to have a stronger ship, a heavier ship, uh, heavier limpets and stuff like that. But if you want that option to sell at the market as well, you need this loadout. So you'll see here that we've got a total range of 108 light years, and that isn't enough to get to the average distance of the market and back and mine, which is around about, let's say, 75 light years, because you're going to need about 170 for an average one, but you need about over 200 to do it reliably. So in this case, we need a fuel scoop. There it is. There, I managed to squeeze one in there. There are some, there are some other options. You could go with a class 3, and I don't. Does that help? No, I don't. Yeah, you could have class 5 prospector limpet controller. Uh, not a massive advantage. So right, I'm just going to go through all the things now, and then you'll get the idea. So the power plant needs to be enough to provide the power that you need to run everything. So it's all down here. We're 85% at the moment. I'm using a 5A power plant, so it's not. You don't need a 7A. A 5A is enough, and that saves a bit of a bit of weight, which gets your jump range up a bit. Thrusters always need to be as fast as possible to escape from pirates in case you mess up. So here we got 340 boost speed. That's about, yeah. I like to have in any ship where I'm carrying cargo 350. With that, you can escape from any interdiction and any pirate as long as you put your 4 pips to engines boost and use a heatsink. Uh, Frameshift drive obviously needs to be as good as possible. By the time you got your Python, you might have Elvira or the other one unlocked to just even like getting grade 1 frameshift drive is going to help you. So any engineering at all that you can do to that, do it. That should be a priority when selling to the market. Life support, lightweight for maximum jump range. Power distributor in a mining ship, as I said before, always needs to be the best you can get. So any engineering to that, you want to do weapons focused, which gives you uh, when you do the sums, the best mining speed, not charge enhanced. Sensors again, lightweight. So this is very much the same principle as what we used on the T6. So collector limpets, D for lightweight, but if you're only working for a fleet carrier, you can afford to have A1s in there. The shield generator, D for lightest weight, maximum jump range. These shields are strong enough. 159. You can if you come under fire, you've still got enough strength to get away from that. It's provided you act fairly quickly. So again, if you're working for Fleet Carrier, you could have an A1, and yeah, you can engineer them as well in various different ways if you're doing your engineering. We'll come to that later. Again, now we got the 3C collector limpet control, which is now, as of yesterday, reappeared in the Inara list. So sorry, I haven't changed it yet. 3C mining multi-limpet controller. That's the one. Sorry, it's reappeared. I hadn't updated this yet. So that gives you 4 limpets. We've got another one up here that gives 7, and I managed to squeeze one here, 8. And remember what I said, the more the better, but you need a minimum of 3 for each class 2 laser and 1 for each class 1. So 6, 7 would be the minimum, and we've got 8. So that should work very well. For spectral limpet, now we can fit 3A, which gives us one more limpet than the T6, which gives a slight advantage. And again, we got the smallest logical refinery. The lasers, now again, you've got to match those to the power distributor. We got 6.1 megawatts to play with. So 6 from these two, so just add an extra one. So what will happen is the capacitor will go down while you're mining, then this one will switch off, and you'll see it after so many seconds go off, and then only these ones are working. Ship won't overheat, so that works fine. The same as before, to escape from the pirates if they start shooting you, heatsink launcher and the point defense. No need for chaff. So that's it. You'd like more jump range. So as I said, any engineer you can get would work. So now I'm going to give you 2 loadouts, depending on whether you're working from. So if you're right at the beginning, you've got no engineering. Now you can skip forward to the bit about how to use the Python and getting the market. The rest of it's all about engineering. So here we are. This one is for selling to a market, so where the emphasis is on jump range. So it's nice to have that option. You don't compromise a lot on your mining speed, so you can still use this one for working for a fleet carrier. But there's a couple of things you can do, which I'll show you in the next one, which gets you more from the fleet carrier. So here again, it's still the 5A power plant because we now got more mining lasers and stronger shields and stuff like that. Thrusters engineered for speed, but we can go lighter on them now because with the engineering, we get more speed, so we can use a lower grade thruster. Because our goal is to get this round about 220. That should be enough, because you'll note that there's no fuel scoop anymore. So you've got to do the whole thing in a round trip. So you're going to use about, I don't know, 10, 20 light years worth of fuel while you're mining, and maybe a bit less than that. I haven't actually figured it out. But then you've got 200 light years left to get to the station and back, or basically to get from the station, because that's where you're going to refuel, to the mine, and then get back again. So this will work out about right, but you're still limiting the market that you can sell in, because if you go beyond anything beyond 100 light years, you're going to have to stop and refuel, which is going to add 5% to your lap time, and that's going to be, well, it's 5 in 30, whatever that comes out as 6. So about 12-13%, something like that. Less efficient but anyway, you can't do much about that. This is now engineered for the maximum jump range that you can get from a mining Python. I mean, you could get a bit more, but you'd compromise your mining efficiency as well. So down we go. Frameshift drive maximum, no choice in that. Life support the lightest. Power distributor. in this case, I'm not choosing the best power distributor. I'm going for sort of a combination of lightweight and power. So what I've chosen is a D power distributor, and again weapons focused with superconduits to give the biggest charge rate as well as a reasonable amount of power, and that's enough to run two class 2 mining lasers, which would be 6. And now these three, it says class 1 mining laser, but unfortunately in Inara they don't have the pre-engineered ones. So I'm going to explain a bit about these pre-engineered ones. These are not normal class 1 ones. You want the pre-engineered ones. If you can't get the pre-engineered ones, you're stuck with one class 1 because that's all the power you've got. Because when you add it up, 3, 6, that would be 7.5. So you're over that. You can go a bit over because then you're draining the capacitor, and so that works. But with the pre-engineered ones, they draw much less power, so you can run more of them. So this will give quite efficient mining. Uh, Collector limpets done for lightweight. Again, the shield, I can stay with a 4D shield and engineer it for thermal resistance. And did I put a, what do we usually put on? Uh, I missed out something here. Probably high capacity would work best. So that it's not critical. That gives a little bit more shield. So um, so don't forget we're doing it for lightweight to get maximum jump range. Again, we got the multi-limpet controller, and now you can't engineer that. The Prospector limpet's done for lightweight, same refinery, and instead of the last collector limpet, remember 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 limpets would be the minimum. So we got 6 and 4 make 10. So we're already one over. So we can, in this one, we can put something else. So I've put a Guardian frameshift booster, which just gives that extra 4 light years, but it also gives a bit better on here. So it's very, very useful. So you could juggle things around to put a bigger Guardian frameshift booster in there. Um, yeah, I'm not going to go through how to get that. I'm assuming if you're doing engineering, these are the things you'd be aiming at because this is the ultimate uh, mining Python for selling in a market. That's what I'm aiming at. So you don't have to do it like this, but this is your goal. What you need to work up for to get the biggest return, if that's the way you're going to do it. Heatsink launcher again. Point defense probably not so important on this because it's much faster. Um, Chance of the um, hatch breakers is not that high, and you should be away. Shields that hold out, or so you don't need the point defense on this one. That just saves that tiny bit of weight. Again, heatsink launcher done for lightweight if you can. So that's it. Nothing special. It's just everything done for lightweight while still getting the maximum number of mining lasers that we can get. So now we come to the ultimate mining Python. So this is if you're working from your fleet carrier or selling to a fleet carrier. So the difference is now weight isn't a problem. Uh, Still only need a 4A power plant, and I overcharged it with thermal spread. That's uh, because it gives you that a little bit extra speed for running away from the pirates. But you don't need any more than that, so there's no point in fitting any more. It's cheaper, whatever. Thrusters again, maximum speed, frameshift drive, maximum jump range. Although you don't need it now, so you could save some weight on that and get even more speed. But you probably wouldn't bother with that. Like same on the life support. None of these things really matter anymore. But this would be like the ultimate. It gives you a few extra options, and probably you're going to take your other one that you had before and adapt it. So that's why I've left some of these as lightweight and D. Power distributor. Now we got the maximum. It's an A with charge enhanced, and sorry, not charge enhanced. Weapons focused with. It should be. Sorry, that's not right. It should be cluster capacitors. Where is it? Cluster capacitor, biggest capacitor that gives you. So slightly less, you get slightly less charge with this one, but you get a much bigger capacitor, and and that gives you the best overall mining speed. So the um, the lasers, I'll come back to the other stuff in a minute. The lasers, now we can have 3 class 3s. There's 9 megawatts, and these again are the uh, pre-engineered ones. So we're looking at 10.5 megawatts altogether. So now quite a bit over, but we're mining so fast, there's a good chance it's going to empty the rock before the capacitor's empty. It doesn't quite work out, but it does work out quicker overall. You have to take my word for it. Sensors lightweights. Here again, you can have A collectors this time if you want. They're slightly more durable than the Ds. It's the only thing. Shield generator, we can go to A grade now and have it a bit strong. Still, I did enhance low power, don't need that. I don't know where that came from. You can have any engineering you like on a shield. I'd do it for strength, so it's high capacity again. Um, uh, Again, the 3C multi-limpet controller. This time we've got a collector limpet in the bottom. So now we've got 6, 10, 11 collector limpets for these, and we need 9, 10, 11. So that's about right. Yeah. And again, same as the other one, just the heat sink in case you have to run away. So let's now have a look at these pre-engineered mining lasers. So you can find them on the Elite Dangerous wiki, halfway down the page. So to get them, you buy them with this stuff, and you get all this stuff while you're mining platinum. So when you go out on your beginner mining Python, just make sure you know you keep enough of those materials, and and you get osmium there as well. So on the last trip, you need to collect some osmium. So if you want, I mean, it's worth getting like 3 or 4 of these pre-engineered mining lasers while you're at it. So you're going to need 4 times as much as this altogether. So you could get like 2 and 2, because you normally get, like from your Python in a typical trip, you might get 20 osmium or something like that. So it's up to you how you do it, but you do get all those materials when you're mining platinum. But where to get them from? This is the thing. According to this, there's 4 megaships that sell them, and Zetian's Recall, Pride of Bitterwood, Champion of Commerce, and the House Ascendant. And these are where they are. Now, I've only done the Pride of Bitterwood. It's where I got mine from, and where my friends got theirs from. Zetian's Recall is in LTT 198. I can't remember where the Pride of Bitterwood is. I think it's there as well. And although it says in EGM 559. Now, EGM 559 is not permit locked, but LTT 198 is. So to buy these things in LTT 198, you need to become friendly or something with Torval Mining, and you find Torval Mining in EGM 559. So you think, well, if you can buy them from the Pride of Bitterwood, why bother with this? Because every time I've checked, Pride of Bitterwood was in LTT 198, so it's under permit locked. But when my friend did it, he found the Pride of Bitterwood in EGM 559, so he could just go and buy them, which saved a lot of time for him, because otherwise you got to run some missions for Torval Mining, and just takes extra time. So what you want to do is go on Inara and check where these, type in the name of these in the search function, type in these 4 megaships and see where they are and whether they're in the permit locked. So anyone that's in EGM 559, you can go straight there and buy it, so you don't have to bother about doing the missions for Torval Mining. So that's it. I hope you have luck with that. I didn't, but my friend did. So um, then you just take this thing, go to the tech broker on one of those mega ships, hand them over. And the other thing is that it's a bit weird that you hand over the stuff and then you look in your inventory, you didn't get anything, and you think he's cheated you. But what happens is the technology broker puts them directly into your storage, your module storage, which is where you find them. So if you go to you hand over your stuff, then you go to outfitting, thinking you got permission to buy one or something, and there's nothing there, and you think, well, where did it go? But that's where it is. It's already there in your storage, so ready for you to fit to your ship. So that hopefully that should avoid you some confusion. So why do we want these pre-engineered ones? The main thing is they only use half the power. So you can work 4 of them for for the same power as what a class 2 laser uses, and they're roughly a third of the mining speed each. So you get 4/3 of the mining speed for the same power as one normal class 2. So it's better to use 4 of these than it is to use a normal class 2. But what it does, it gives you more options on the power as well to match your lasers to the power distributor and everything like that. They've got extra range, but that's academic because you're always mining. You should be mining as close to the rock as you can. So I think that's everything about the loadout. Now it's just a question of going out to use it. So I'll show you that. Right, while I'm flying out there, I'll just go through the fire groups. So same as the T6, all the collectors are on trigger 1, prospectors on trigger 2, and then the all the mining lasers on trigger 1. And on the multi-Olympic controller, again, just the collectors is what we're using. Don't put the prospectors on the on any trigger. The heatsink, again, I've got on a button so that I know where it is to deploy it all the time. I always do that on any ship. But this Python is a bit of a hybrid between the ones I've shown you, somewhere in between. It's got some light engineering. It's just one I knocked up just for purpose of this video. I didn't want to waste time doing loads of engineering. Oh, and while you're flying in, you might as well switch on your night vision on the ship down there, there, and also you should leave your inventory pre-selected like that, because if you're not careful, you're going to forget, and when that first pirate interaction comes, you're going to be faffing about trying to get the right tab on your panel there, and you've got 15 seconds, and if you waste 5 seconds doing that, you can get into panic mode if you're not careful. So it's much better to have it pre-selected all the time. So when you're ready to dump cargo, just here, and then you're straight off on it. So here we are in the Azres, as it's my first trip of the day. I'm heading towards the planet. Now in the Python, it'll go a little bit further before it fills up. So on the next trip, you want to go maybe somewhere about there. Divide this side into 3. So like six trips to do a full circle. So on the third trip, you go away from the planet to get your starting point. Because remember, you're mining in a ring between 16 and 20 kilometers. So not many pirates about this time. How far out am I? 11 kilometers. So I'll just go all the way up there. And what I could have done is stopped back there and let the pirates scan me, and that would have got it out of the way, because they might follow me out here, and I've got to wait for them now. So if you come out here too fast, you have to stop and wait. So same as before, first thing I do is permission. Oh, I've got to get the right way up. No, it was upside down. I always put that nebula below me. See the pirates in the distance there, and the yellow sky up there above me. So I'm just below the plane at about there's a scan. So I'm not wasting any time because you have to wait for them to scan you anyway. So there's a nice rock there. So what my distance? 15.9. That's okay. Like on the inside, the 16 kilometers is not critical. It's a question of the nearer, the more chance you got of seeing pirates. But they're going to follow you out anyway. So it doesn't matter if you start at 15 kilometers and then sort of work your way out a bit. So they seem to scan me and gone. So first thing to sort out is your pips. I normally go. This is because I've got some engineering now to the thrusters. 114 is okay. And right, the trick with the oh, you can get your cargo scoop out ready if you want. The trick now we've got two prospector limpets. There's only had one before. So the trick with these is to fire one. Oh, you've got to be in the right mode. Been doing combat last night, so wasn't ready for that. Fire your prospector limpet. Why's that going? Wrong fire group now.
Programming limpet drone.
There it comes. So as soon as you fired one, you're looking for your next rock, and you can fire a second one. So you target the first one, and the first one didn't give me any platinum, so I now start following the second one. And now I'm looking for my next rock. That one above it looks right, so I now fire the next one. Button didn't seem to be working. So I kept that first one targeted. I should have done this one first, but it doesn't matter. I can swap over. What would happen is that one there. Looks like I missed that little rock. That's why it took so long. It's got 38% in it, that one. So that's going to be my next rock. But while I'm here, I got this one. So I always have two limpets out at a time. 26%. I won't bother with that. But this is the one I was aiming at. So I know that other one's mineable, so I'm just keeping that in the back of my mind now. So fire this limpet. I just got a feeling this has got platinum in it. Yeah, there you go. How did I know? Right. So the mining is just the same as in the T6. The collector limpets come out by themselves. We've got our scoop open. So nothing now is different than the other one. You just mine faster. You get around the place faster. And the pirate interaction is going to be the same. But as I said before, the game does tend to be kind to you when you're in the T6, and you don't get so many pirate interactions. In my last video, it looked like there was a lot because I'd collected those over a long period of time for the video. So most times you won't see a pirate, but in the Python, it's much more frequent. So that's my first rock. And remember, I'd already prospected this one. And I think it had 38% in it, so I'm going to do this one next. Don't need to fire another limpet because once you've had that limpet on it, it keeps its properties. So that's it. Now it's just go round in the circle, the same as before, and then when you're full up, go to the market and sell it. So what I'm going to do now, once I've finished here, I'm going to show you how to get the best price for your platinum. And obviously, you know, if you get more money for it from the market, you're going to get more money overall. But the other thing is, as I said, you've got to cut down the time flying to the market all the time. There you are, we've got another pirate interaction. Didn't take them long this time. Carrying anything nice. Here it just wants 4 tons because I'm here. It looks like there's more than one there. So, whoop.
Asteroid scan complete.
So I've probably missed the one that the other ones want.
Scan detected.
There's another one. I'll just carry on while I'm keeping an eye on that.
Programming limpet drone.
He wants 20 tons. Oh, the other one wasn't happy. hopefully they'll get mixed up who this is for. So he's
Prospector
happy.
limpet engaged.
Platinum seems a bit
Programming
sparse on
limpet
this visit.
drone. Asteroid scan complete. Prospector limpet failed.
So they all seem
Programming
to be
limpet
happy. Oh
drone.
yeah, one thing, Python, you have to be very careful with the prospector limpets, not to accelerate after you've fired one.
Prospector
The
limpet engaged.
they do it catches them up and blow, and then it
Asteroid
breaks them.
scan complete.
Right, let's talk about selling the platinum now. Now, the traditional way of doing it that most people seem to do is they come on a forum and ask where's the best place to get platinum, and somebody tells them, so they go there, get loads of platinum, and they say, oh, where should I sell it? So then they use various tools to try and find a decent market to sell it. But what you're going to find, those tools will give you the closest market to where you mined it. But you're then limited by what markets there are. What I'm recommending is that you have a look at doing it the other way round and saying, well, where's a good market, and then where's the best place to mine, and so that you mine as close as possible. That cuts down your travelling time a lot and ensures you get a good price. Because what happened the other way around, you got the platinum, and you'll say, well, it's only 50 light years this one, I'm going to get 220, or it's like 70 that I'm going to get 250, and 100 to that one I'm going to get 275. You're trying to make a judgment of which is the best one to go to and all that sort of thing. But you can cut down the travelling time a lot and still get a good price if you do it the other way. But the first thing, uh, as I said before, that the first goal is to probably to try and sell to a fleet carrier, because if you've got one part nearby, it's only minutes away, and you're going to get about 240, 250 for it, and that's always going to be better than uh, traveling 100 light years to a station to get 275 for it. Um, the other option is here. I've just been mining in Pisia, and in Pisia we've got these three stations, and this one can take big ships. So that one tends the price tends to collapse first, and then this one, because this one has these two, both you can replenish your limpets and go back mining again. This one doesn't have limpets. So if you sell the stuff here, you've then got to make a trip to one of the other stations to get your limpets before you can go back again. So like yesterday, the price here was about well, day before yesterday, price was 240. Then the next day it was down to 220. I haven't checked today. This one yesterday was 240. Now today it's down to 220. So as I'm satisfying the demand, the price is coming down. So that one's probably still at 240. But as I said, you've got to add now then like 5 minutes to get to the station, get your limpets, and get going again. So, but it's always worth like just checking Inara to see what the prices are here before going anywhere else. That's if you mine here. But I want to show you the tools first, and then we'll have a look at how they work. So um, this is the one that a lot of people use. You just type where you are, and then type platinum. I'll click on the platinum, and it gives a list of the nearest place to mine. So it tells you where to mine and where you can sell it. Does all these sums for you. The trouble is these aren't the best places. None of the well, if there are hazardous resource extraction sites, they're hidden in there, so you don't know which are and which aren't. So some of these will just be like good rings with high yield, but you'll only get half as much as what you get in the has res. And also, if you've got the platinum already, where do I sell it? You'll see that from this place. Well, let's put where I am, and then you can see how it works. The markets move around. So if I put there and click on the platinum, did I do it right? Hopefully. Right, yeah. So here you can see I could get 264, 82 light years away. So we're looking at the 100 light years that I was talking about earlier. But the other thing is the demand. Now the trouble is the demand could be met before you get there by a couple of cutters turn up and they've met it all, and when you get there they don't want any at all, so the price is really low. So you're always looking for one with a lot of demands, like that one there. The trouble is it's now 154 light years away. So you're taking chances on some of these other ones. They wanted 2,800 tons. That could be gone by now. So you're gonna like waste a journey or something like that. None of these are particularly. 9,000's not bad. Good price as well. So people will be going there 154 light years. So that would be one. But that's going to take you 25 minutes by the time you've got there, sold the stuff, refueled, come back, refueled somewhere, and got on with your mining. So there's quite a lot of wasted time to get that price. If there's a fleet carrier nearby offering 240. But the other thing, what these ones don't show, this one doesn't show, is how far the station is from the star. So then you need to check another tool to see what that is. And like if the station's only 50 light seconds from the star, it's going to take like just a few seconds to get there once you've dropped out of the star. But another one could be 200 light seconds away. It's going to take you 20 minutes. So the fact that this one is nearer than this one might not help you if you're going to waste 20 minutes just flying to the station from the star. So we've got Inara as well. Um, so again, you type in where you are. Um, uh, so I should have done it already. Um, Commodities. So hopefully I want to sell near pies here. It'll automatically get your place platinum search. So it'll list up all the places from here. I prefer the old Inara for this actually, but um, you can now order these. Now, well, this one's got the distance to the star, so you don't really want to go there. Um, Sometimes you see like really big ones. Yeah, anything, 1,000, 1,200 is okay. Anything less than that is obviously a lot better. So these are how far the stations are. And as you can see, the price isn't very good. I can get 229, 33 light years away. So it's two jumps away. Um, so we can change around to the price by double clicking on that. And I've filtered for fleet carriers at the moment, but you could look for fleet carriers. But again, remember what I said, the important things are demand. And so 80 light years, I can get 234. So, you're looking for one with a higher demand and a good price. This one, I used to have, this is why I prefer the other one. You can do it for best. So, yeah, I'm going to switch to the other one. Uh, Data, commodities, platinum. I find this one easy because it's got the best. I mean, maybe I don't know how to use that new one, so I search it. It's already really in there. Um, so now you see a lot more higher prices, but then they got the distances, so you can look down. So see what I mean? That if I've mined in pies here, now I'm looking for a good price. It's looking like I've got to go a long way to get one, but there are lots of places you could mine, and these are the places with a good price. So it might have made sense to find one of these with a good demand. I mean, the 9,000 there, so you can probably stay there for a couple of days. 294, really good price as well. So if I was in there, so the question is, where would be the best place to mine? So what's happened is the guys on Reddit have done a very, very good job, and they found all these has reses with platinum in, and they've put some figures there. I wouldn't take these numbers as gospel. Check them out by all means, but they're probably somewhere in the right ballpark. And I've just been in pies here. So where's that pies ring to here? So they're telling you get a 75% bonus there and a yield of 22%, whatever that is. Um, uh, this one here, 22% as well. And look, that it got the distance from the star as well, so that's quite close. That's a good one. So I don't know what this means. So you'd have to check it out and see what that is. But you see all these has-reses and these high resource extraction sites there, and so this research has sort of been fed into this tool that we looked at before. This one here, and you'll see this here. If you click on that list, and there's all these lists in here. So there's all sorts of good things in here. You should play about with it. Right down the bottom, platinum, res, combos, platinum, HS high yield. Not too sure what that means. Platinum hotspot. That's the hotspots high yield. But the res is always going to give more. So get and oh, you can put in where you were. Now remember, I copied that market where it's got a good price and a high demand. So now, if I get now, it's going to order them. So these are the resource extraction sites that's closest to there in distance. So yeah, I mean that's a long way from the star, so that doesn't look so good. 20% looks low, whatever whatever that means. This one looks more promising, 75. But if if the one we've been in was 75%, then maybe that's the same. So you'll have to try some of these out. I thought there was a Hasres one, uh, unless I've missed it. Is it right down the bottom? Platinum, res, platinum. No, so it's that one. So let's just have a look down the lists, see if it's got. No, I don't see pies here. Oh, there's pies here down there. Yeah. So we're 154 light years away. But so what it's telling us there is 75% bonus. This one's 80%, but a bit further from the start. That one similar, but it's closer. So it might have been better to mine there and then sell in this place here rather than to mine here and then try and figure out where to sell. That's what I'm trying to get to. So what you want to do is have a look at some of these ones. Um, just try a different one. That wants 9,000 at 280 before you start. And let's put that one in there and see if I was mining there. Paste, get, where would be. So we're still 100 light years, but what you'll do is suddenly you'll put one in and you'll get them 50 light years and it'll be maybe a good one. So there's one with 80%, but look, 77,000 light years from the light seconds from the star. So you probably don't really want to go to that one. That one would be good if there's a fleet carrier right next to the mining spot, but you're gonna take 10 minutes just flying from the star to the mining for that one. So you can cross that one off. But what I'm trying to do is get you the idea, just for a small amount of research, but just trying the different markets in there. Just try another one. Uh, there's another one there. We'll make this the last one. But when I've done it before, I've often got a market, a mining spot within 50 light years of the market, which is only like 2 jumps away, and that obviously saves a lot of time travelling, and that gets your earnings rate up. So here we go again. So we're down to 95 there. What's that one? A high with 75. That's only 1,300 light seconds. That's not too bad. There's a 90% ASRES there. Look. So that one, it'd be a lot better by the looks of it to mine there and then sell here because you're going to get, this is if you're traveling to markets, you're going to get 270 there and they've got quite a high demand. I mean, you could look at the ones with a really high demand. Sometimes you see them for like 20, 30,000. There's none in that list at the moment. But just to finish this tool, these ones in red, their markets are more susceptible to collapse. So if you look in the box, it says if you go there with more than 693, you won't get that price. I don't know why they figure out he's got too much. I'm going to give him a lower price, but that's how it works. But it tends to scale with that demand. But the problem is you can only go there once or twice, and then you've satisfied the market, and the price collapses, and you've got to go and find somewhere else. So that's why I say you should find one with a high. If you can find one wanting 30,000 ton, you can be there for a week. And so it's very important then to get the nearest place to mine, and then um, your overall travelling distance is less. So that's the point I'm trying to make. So have a play with these tools, and I just want to show you one other thing that these people have done. See 3D map. So these are all the mining spots, and you can see where you are, and mysteriously you normally it's like a ball. So you can see they're all on the surface of a ball, and nearly every time you're right in the middle of it. So or the markets are all right in the middle of it, because obviously the distance of the market from the where the stuff's available affects the price. So that's why you normally have to travel a long way. But fleet carriers have changed all that. So always your first choice can be find a fleet carrier. Second choice is particularly at Pisa. I don't know whether the other ones do it as well. You can often sell the stuff at the station. I've been doing it for 3 days and got a good price. And then after that, you got to travel. So I hope you enjoyed that. So again, if you've got any questions or comments, write them down and I'll do my best to reply. And I'll see you in another video.